Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nasiola Ikuba, is focused. If you recall, over the weekend, he had a statement where he assured the people of Rivers State that the mandate so given to him on the 29th of May is on course, and that the program to develop Rivers State is not negotiable.
Okay.
So he's moving forward.
All right, it's moving forward. So now let's look at some statistics now. Rivers State is number 2 when it comes to internally generated revenue. We've got the second highest. During the inaugural speech of the governor, he talked about investing in several sectors like agriculture, housing. He talked about continuing and consolidating on the infrastructural development started by the previous administration. What can you say is the direction that this government is traveling on, so the people of Rivers State can know and can understand that this is where we are going to, and this is what we have done thus far?
Well, thus far, on Friday, after our inauguration, there was a state executive council where four bills were sent to, or prepared to be sent to the House of Assembly, not until the incident that took place last Sunday, culminating into the Monday crisis,
Yeah.
Those bills were drafted and were ready, and State Executive Council okayed them for onward transmission to the River State House of Assembly. Those bills are River State Electricity Bill, which is intended to create a River State electricity market that is commercially sound and technically compliant, well-funded and financially viable.
Okay.
To facilitate investment and innovation in Rivers State electricity market. In fact, it was expected to be established for a regulatory framework and licensing regime for the conduct of electricity operations by entities operating in Rivers State and for the delivery of services by such entities to electricity consumers located in the state. That is Rivers State Electricity Bill 2023. The other is another bill for consideration and approval for Rivers State Investment Promotion Agency Bill, Rivers State Consumer Protection Agency Bill.
Okay.
Now, this bill is the intent of this bill is to promote and facilitate investment in the state in order to drive the economy or drive the economic development and prosperity of our state and its people. This bill would have put, or would put, if passed by the State Assembly, would put us on the economical way. That is the second bill. Then the third bill is the bill on River State New Town Development Authority Bill. So they ask, why New Town? Why don't we drive the process through the Greater Port Harcourt? But this is a bill that is intended to open up more towns, because the story of Port Harcourt remaining as the worst state has become a real challenge.
Okay.
So the bill is divided into 7 parts. Part 1 deals with the designation, creation and planning of new towns or modern cities in Rivers State. Under clause 1 of the bill, the governor may by order published in the official gazette of Rivers State designate an area in the state as a new town or modern city to be developed under the law. An area designated under such clause above may include an existing town or part thereof.
Okay.
That is the 2023. The intent of this bill is the advancement of state government policy initiatives and efforts to provide sustainable economic opportunities for the youth with respect to entrepreneurship. The small and medium enterprises scheme and then job creation and poverty reduction. That is the third bill. And then finally, there is the other bill. Okay, I'm sure that I've given all. I've told you about the new town development bill, the electricity bill, the
youth empowerment,
investment promotion agency bill,
okay,
and then the River State Youth Entrepreneurship bill. Those are the four bills that were passed at the fourth session of the State Executive Council.
Okay. Now let me take us back to when the Rivers State government announced that it will be revisiting the Songhai farm and will be, bringing it back on stream. That conversation has been politicized because we love politics in Rivers State. But as commissioner, what details can you give us about that? Because a lot of Rivers people celebrated the idea of bringing back our agricultural prowess, because we are a state with agricultural prowess. So what details can you give? It's one thing to make an announcement, it's another thing to actually go about doing what you've announced. So can you help us with that?
You know that the Songhai farm has been abandoned for so long.
Okay.
And the processes of getting it back on stage is not a day or two business. So one would expect some level of, a lot of thinking and finances to be able to push that agenda. So I want to believe that the Commissioner for Agri must be very busy trying to piece together all the necessary details regarding this takeoff.
Do you have an idea how long it will take while they're trying to piece all the things together, all the structures together? Is it going to take a year, 2 years?
You recall that both of us, the Commissioner for Information and myself, were just
appointed,
trained, and we came on board barely a week ago.
Okay.
So I can imagine that it will be difficult for him to, give me the duration of how long it will take. But a little bit of patience, I'm sure that it won't take too long.
Okay. All right. So let's come to recent happenings. As commissioner, you must have, like you said, you have been in office, just about a week or thereabout. You must have been inundated with reports of killings of e-taxi drivers, or is it the snatching of their vehicles? You must also have been told about kidnappings of young ladies in Rivers State. You would agree with me that our government's responsibility primarily is to protect the lives and citizens. What do you think is the strategy of the government? Because Rivers people have been asking this question in terms of helping cop this menace in our society.
You see, I don't want to think that Rivers State should be painted in the
bad light,
in the picture of the happenings in some states in this country. Crime is almost all over everywhere.
All right.
And I do not think that our case is one. This morning I woke up to hear 29 taken, and then the other ones, in some states up north. Here, without holding brief for the security agencies, I must say that I think when this government came, there was a notorious gang that was disturbing, and I'm sure after we lost the DPO of Powder East, we have crime rate has reduced.
Okay.
And I know that crime rate is really associated with quite a lot of factors.
Okay.
It's not entirely the fault of government, to say that, okay, this state is because the governor or the government is not proactive. the government of Rivers State, particularly this bill I've read to you now, for youth empowerment, is also intended to rev up economic activities by our youth. So I don't want us to begin to see Rivers State in the light of a state with a high crime rate. Our case is on the lowest side, if you ask me.
Okay. All right. Let's focus on the economy, actually. We know the macroeconomy is going through tough times, after the removal of petrol subsidy, we saw the value of the naira drop. Even when we unified the foreign currency at the federal level, we saw the value of the naira even drop deeper. However, in the state, questions are being asked, or I want to ask, what have we put in place to ensure that we somehow have a kind of cushion effect in Rivers State so as not to feel the impact just like in many other states?
I must commend the drafters of this bill, particularly the Commissioner for Power and the Governor, for this executive bill that's intended to establish an electricity platform.
Okay.
Electricity outfit that will be able to provide electricity for Rivers people. In fact, power generation is key. Once you have electricity and skill, I'm sure it will help to drive the economy. The microeconomies you're talking about, the small barbering salons, and all those who do small vulcanizing business all over, they will thrive. Because now that fuel is up, there must be an alternative means of survival.
All right.
So I would assume that that bill in particular, if the Assembly passes it into a law, it will help to improve on our economy.
Okay. Apart from that, what other project or policy have been put in place, to help boost the local economy in Rivers State? Can you help us with that?
Well, I talked about the Investment Promotion Agency bill. I've given you the internet of that bill. And then when you open up new towns, you also open up new opportunities. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I
when
can
you
hear.
open up new towns, just like you create more space, you create more opportunities. People will come and explore what you find in those areas. Don't forget that the ring road is intended to touch 6 local governments.
True.
If a man who is doing vulcanized goes to another point closer to his town, 2 things he will say. 1, transportation. 2 is that he will no longer pay rent. He can do his business right there in his community. 2 of us. So you can imagine what it would look like if I, as a Igbo man, really touches my community and I'm driving from there. I'm doing my business there. I would have saved my rent in Port Harcourt because I will now occupy the little home that I have at home. So these are part of the benefit of opening up. When you open up spaces too, when the number for that thing, if you have a land and you develop, tenants will come and live. It will help improve on our economy.
All right. Okay, so we have a commercial break in 2 minutes. I will still throw a question at you, but when we come back, we have other issues. I wouldn't take all of your time. I'll just take maybe 5 or 10 more minutes after the break. But I want to ask you questions on education. Now, during the 100 days in office, the governor, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara, went about commissioning certain schools that were completed. But what is the agenda of the Rivers State government when it comes to education? We've heard things like, free, what do you call it now? Payment. The government has paid, O-level fees for WAEC and NECO students, but we still get to hear in certain parts where they are asked to enroll. And when we ask the teachers or the headmasters, they tell us stuff like, the amount of people that are paid for could be 50, but we have 100 students who want to enroll for WAEC. So what is the agenda of the River State government when it comes to education. The time for my break is now, so I would allow you, think about this question and the answer to the question. When we come back, we'd like to hear from you. Please do stay on the line.
Okay, no problem.
All right, thank you. 29 minutes to the top of the hour. You're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakuru Batibo, and I've got with me Joe Johnson, who is the Commissioner for Information. Welcome back on the show, sir. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much.
All right, then. So before we went on that break, I threw a question at you, and it was, focused on the education sector. And I, said, what is the policy direction of this government when it comes to agenda? We've been told, free fees and no fees, all of that stuff, payment of WAEC and all of that. But we've had certain complaints in parts of River State, and when we ask questions, they tell us that it is because, what the government has provided is not enough, and so we have to complement. So what is your take on that, please?
Well, first of all, let me commend the government of River State.
Okay.
I'm sure we're about one of the very, very few that has this kind of education policy that provides virtually everything without parents paying anything. So for me, I would think that what the general populace should be doing is to commend the River State government, because Canada, I don't know how old you are, but if you have family and you have children, you know what it takes to pull them through schools.
Okay.
Particularly at the age when they're able to eat like animals. So for government to be able to write off school fees, that's a great relief. Pay fee, that's a great relief. And then even provide free books. As at the time we were doing the 100 days as we went to comprehensive secondary school, Borokiri, the government announced a particular number of free books, over 1 million, and to be given to students free. So I think that we should not measure the minor. It is key that virtually 90% of what one requires to be in school, in my estimation, is being provided by the government.
90%, you say? 90%.
Yes,
Let's get the facts.
School fee is one. Nobody is paying fees. Books, nobody is paying. And there is nothing that anybody can go to actually say this is what the parents are providing. Just take the children to school, books will be provided, and the child is in class. Government pays the teachers. So what else do you
chalks for blackboards, or is it markers now that they use? Some have said sometimes there are not enough desks. Some minor complaints have come up from some of these schools, and they say they have to make contributions, so that they call it the imprint or something like that. Canada it is, yes.
Canada, we're in this country now, we know how things are. And if you know how many schools are in River State, in particular, you commend government for providing the much that they have provided.
Okay.
To say that marker and blackboard and all those things are not enough all around. There's only God that has the perfect situation.
Okay.
Everything made by man, even the mechanical devices. In most cases, you find things that are not included in what the device ought to be. But home appliance, only to discover that a particular thing wasn't really functioning as it ought to.
Okay.
So let us also allow room to accommodate the few of the lapses. That we even say that government of River State, and perhaps a few other, I hear that because of the sit at home in the eastern part of the state, most children from our River State are here, and they're under that scholarship.
Okay.
And nobody is discriminating about it.
Okay. Now let's move. Now let's move from education. Let's get to pensioners. After pension, we talk about road infrastructure. Now with pensioners, recently there was the talk about them not getting enough. 1 billion naira earmarked for pension and gratuities, and they say it's not enough. What is the government doing about it? I remember the last time there was a meeting between the leadership of the pensioners and the River State government. I do not know if the result of the meetings or the agreements have reached your table. I'd like to hear from you on that one.
No. It has not reached. The more that I know is that, of course, it's in the public domain that pensioners are getting their dues.
Okay.
And also, the civil servants who were hitherto not promoted in the last 10 years have also smiled. Those who had no increment, who were stagnated for so long a time, have also, in fact, I was told reliably that our wage bill had gone up by about 2.3 billion.
Okay.
Arising from that exercise. So I can imagine also that the pensioners will smile. Particularly the governor who is a technocrat, who was a civil servant or still a civil servant, who has passed through the realms of civil service. He understands the dynamics of what obtains in the civil service.
I was going to ask you, talking about wage bill, remember there was an agreement with Labour not too long ago. I think was that in October 3, where NLC, TUC, and the federal government agreed to wage awards and also asked the state governments to pay, which is 35,000 increments to the minimum wage. That's 35 plus 65,000 naira. What's the River State government doing about that? Is that something we're going to see in the nearest future? Has it already been done? We would like to know as well.
Canada, you will excuse me, considering that I just came
into office. Okay.
This office, so I have quite a lot to
catch up
on. Advantage, which I need to catch up.
Okay.
So looking ahead and seeing the kind of government that we have here is a civil service friendly government.
Okay.
I want to think that when Labour finishes this front and back movement they're doing at the federal level, I'm sure that the state leadership of Labour will open an avenue, to dialogue with the governor. The governor understands what salaries are. He understands what they talk about when they say pension. He understands pension. So I don't think that it will be something that we should break our heads over.
All right. Someone just sent a message on Facebook, and the person is asking about the increment of tuition fees in our state-owned tertiary institutions, like the Ignatius Ejuru University of Education, for instance, or the River State University, for instance. Is there a reason why these things are happening? I mean, for me, I can understand the current economic situation, but apart from that, what else can you tell us? And of course, the payment of bursaries, the payment of some other, things that can enable the students learn at the tertiary level.
That appointments are still ongoing.
Okay.
We were the last set of people who came in.
Okay.
And some of the things that are happening, some I knew before I became a commissioner.
Okay.
So now I may not just talk like my former self. I will need to give you the position of government on all the issues. I'm aware that those institutions you mentioned.
Hello, are you there? Hello.
To cater for them.
Okay.
So if you give me another opportunity, I'm sure that you will get the positive vibes of what the two positions are.
Okay, but Honorable Commissioner, my show will be welcoming anytime you want to, because Rivers people would really love to hear from you. So anytime you have something, you could come on the show and we could have this interaction. All right, then.
This appointment, I'm sure it was only yesterday you gave me a call, and then I promised I was going to keep it. I have not failed you.
Yes.
I'm there for Rivers people. I will tell them the truth. I will tell them the true situation of things. I will not add anything of my own. And anything I say is like a bond. You can take it to the bank.
Okay. All right. There are a lot of reactions. I would ask you to stay on the line so we can, get some calls and get some reactions and questions from the people of River State. But before we go to the phone lines, one more question. during the campaigns, the governor said consolidation. He was going to consolidate on, what happened in the previous administration. And one of those things that happened was road infrastructure. What is the policy direction when it comes to infrastructure in the state? Because yes, we will agree that the former government did build a lot of infrastructures when it comes to road, but much more still needs to be done. So what is the policy direction? Can you help us with that one as well?
If you take the copy of the manifesto of His Excellency Nana Ikubara, you see that quite a lot will happen in the area of human capital development. And then the legacy project that he kicked off just a few weeks shortly after he became governor, was the ring road.
Okay.
That ring road is like, it's a 51-kilometer project, and it's cutting across 6 local governments, and it's a dual carriage road. It means that alone will take us to the economic highway. So that is on one side. There are other programs for the youth, some of which are already rolled out. And I've also said that there will be new towns. There's already a deal we're pushing to the House of Assembly, which is the New Towns Development Authority deal. That bill is intended to cure or abolish just one city status of River State. Everybody knows River State as having one city, which is like Port Harcourt. But this one is intended to open as many cities and then modern cities as it were. New towns and modern cities will be established.
All right.
So I think that this is a good look ahead.
Okay. Now to political matters now, just permit me. Sometime last week, there were rumors about some aides of the governor being sacked, and you came out, and one of the first things you did was to debunk. One of the first things you did once you were appointed into the office of Commissioner for Information was to debunk some of the rumors that were flying around. And, it came as a surprise, yesterday when we were now told that the chief security officer, which of course was amongst the people who were listed in the rumors as to have been sacked by the governor, was redeployed by the police. I want to ask, is the House united? Are we having a united cabinet? Are we having a united governance structure? Because Rivers people are really concerned about that as well.
As is common with everything in life is dynamic in itself. So it means that people may move upward or downward.
Okay.
Motion or demotion is a movement. So when people, you either promoted to general manager, you're brought down to the. So when people are in the public sector, they should expect, to see movement. So when somebody is seconded from the Nigerian police, for instance, to work in government house, it does not make him a civil servant in River State. The person is on secondment, as it were.
Okay.
So at some point, you may be redeployed. That's why the word redeployment is there. So I don't think it's so much of an issue to go with. It has nothing to do with any perception, as it were.
Okay. All right, then. Let's listen to some callers. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp messages, you go to the WhatsApp number 0809-030-6416. Remember to keep your comments civil, respectful, and do not say things that are not for development. We talk for development on the show. So let's go on Facebook, Nigerian Info PH. Remember, we're live there. Aro Dubani says Rivers State government should pay more attention to the agricultural, education, and health sectors to create jobs for the teeming youths of Rivers State. It may interest you to know that a lot of Rivers youth graduate without jobs. Again, security in Rivers State is poor. The government should look into it. All right. Frank Bishop Chimize says the government is doing well in Rivers. Okay. Let's see. Ajuru Uche says, good afternoon. Let the River State government address the issues of increments of school fees in the state-owned institution. We've talked about some of this. This one says, please help me tell the commissioner that schools in River State run themselves. I use my little resources as a school head to run the school. The previous administration didn't provide for schools one stick of chalk or marker to any school in the state for 8 years. Please tell the governor to do something to schools, especially basic schools. All right, let's listen to some callers now. Muriel.
Hello?
Yeah, Muriel, welcome.
Calabar, good evening.
Yes, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Calabar. This is Muriel, the Okrika woman from Okrika here.
Okay.
Look, Calabar, I've always said this government will be a breath of fresh air to the Rivers people. And, for so long, we've not had any government person come to address us. This really shows accountability, and I want to praise the Commissioner of Information and the governor for allowing this be. Before I feel like this, they were scared to come out. Now, Canada, I want to see the area of insecurity. Look, the former governor really provided a lot of security, infrastructure or anything, something, to the police, to the security forces. And I want to plead that when a new commissioner of police comes, he should please put those things to use. There was a forensic center. There were so many things. They should put it to use, and it should work together with the governor in hand. But I want to plead with the governor to look at local security, like the OSPAC. If he's not comfortable with OSPAC, nothing stops him, Calabar, from setting up his own local security, bringing up new ones. There is nothing stopping him. Now, in the area of education, Calabar, in the curriculum, Calabar, if there will be a little bit of fresh air, they could, the governor can, the Commissioner of Education can a little bit refresh the curriculum and focus on the rural schools, Calabar. Trust me, the old focus are on the urban schools, but in the rural schools, in my community, the only girls school, they call it Okumba Girls. Calabar, that school has been vandalized, the buildings have been dilapidated. I want to plead the commissioner to please visit my community.
All right, thank you, Muriel. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Muriel. Honorable Commissioner, did you hear what she was saying? Could you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's take some more calls. Emmanuel is calling from Tai. Oh, I missed that one. Ida from Inkoro, welcome on the show. Let's get your thoughts, please.
Yes, Canada, thank you very much. First of all, I want to commend the Commissioner for Information. If Commissioner like you will be coming to the studio, we'll be very, very happy.
Okay.
I want to also use this opportunity to thank the Golden Governor of Rivers State. He's 100 days in office, just like 4 years in office. He has done so many projects, and I watch so many projects. I want to commend him. Everywhere is booming. Investors are trooping in every day by day by this particular governor. I want to thank him. I also thank the Commissioner for Information.
All right.
They should try. God will help them. Everything they are doing. Thank you very much. God
thank you very much.
All
right, thank you very much. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Keep those calls coming in. This one says, it's a long read. It's a long read I do not have. Honorable Commissioner, so what are your reactions to some of the things that have been raised on the show?
Well, the lady who spoke from Okrika was more of advancing the government and commending the government. So, what will I react to? It's something that we're on air, and the regime is open to criticism. Nobody is perfect except God. I want to believe that we will do better.
No, she's asking and inviting the state government to come to Okrika and help with the educational system there. So that's why I'm asking what your reaction is.
Well, if I had the full detail of what she wants, I would be able to advance it to the appropriate ministry.
All right. Clinton is calling from Bori. Clinton, welcome to the show. Let's quickly get your thoughts, please.
Yeah, Kalada, thank you very much. And good day to the Commissioner online. Now, Kalada,
thank you.
He spoke extensively on creating new towns. I think that's a very good one. I'm in Bori, and Bori is one of the oldest towns in River State. But the place have remained like that for years. No development, the roads are bad. electricity. We have not seen light in Bori for almost 2 years now. So I know that if the commissioner can release some of this information to the governor, the area can be developed and Bori become a town again with infrastructures. And if there's electricity in Bori, businesses can even survive. People can make a living out of these things. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Benson from HA. Benson is our last caller for today on the show, for this topic rather. Welcome, Benson. Let's get your thoughts.
Yeah, Mr. Kalada, good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, I agree the commission today. Good evening. Thank you. I want to commend the commission. He has spoken very well. In fact, I want to say that this is the type of people we need to be in the helm of affairs in our. So, Commissioner, you are welcome. Thank you. Having said that, on the view, the State Executive Council has prepared to some assembly. I want to say that this is the best bill that has been prepared by the State Executive Council for the past 9 years now in our state. But I am afraid that if these bills will see the light of the day, because of what is happening now in our state, and I am also sure that these bills are one of the things that is generating this type of political controversy in the place, because these three bills are capable of transforming this state.
All right.
So having said that, I would want the commissioner to tell the governor, let them try their best to make sure that these three bills see the light of the day.
All right then.
Having said that, please permit me.
No, we don't have enough time. Sorry, I've got to let you go. I'm really sorry, Benson. It's time for me to allow the Honorable Commissioner give us his final words. I mean, he has promised he will come, on the show several, in subsequent times. I beg your pardon. So, Honorable Commissioner, let's get your final words, please.
Well, my final word is to continue to hold our dear state in prayers, including our governor and all the leaders in this state, so that at the end, Rivers State will be the El Dorado.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe Johnson, Commissioner for Information, Rivers State, for being on the show today. We do appreciate.
Okay.
And yet again, congratulations on your appointment. Congratulations.
Thank you so very much. Hello, thank you.
All right, then. Do stay tuned. We would have this conversation again, the open season. We'll do a recap. But then again, there is the news update coming up at 5. After that, you and I will talk some more. And there's something on my mind I would like to tell you. And at this time, it's just you and I talking. There will be no guests. You and I will talk. And it concerns something that happened in Rivers State 2 months ago. And it looks like we've forgotten. And I want to bring it back to the fore. I want to remind every one of us, the police, the Rivers State government, the local government chairman, the people who listen to Nigeria Info, who listen to Hard Facts, and who listens to Kalada Kurubatibo. I'd like to bring it all to your notice. But thank everyone who has contributed thus far to the station. I'll be right back after the commercial break.